Okay, chapter 1. If you see an expression that's written as 5 times the sum of A and B, which of these 4 do you think it would be?
B.
It is B, correct. How about 2? You're buying, you have $199, but you're spending $3 each day. Which one is that? A, very easy. Number 3, tickets to a concert, they're $25 each, and there's a $1.75 handling fee. What expression would it be, and if you were to buy 6 tickets, what would be the correct answer?
D.
Is it A?
A is correct. Now, how do you figure out how much it's gonna cost? You do, after you do 25, and then each ticket is $25 and is $1.75. You could have plugged 6 in here, and you would have gotten $151.75. So you could have eliminated 2 of the answers that way. Number 4. When you evaluate, when you plug -3 in here, what answer did you get? And you guys should be reading the answers, you should have had this done. Plug
B.
-3 in here, what do you get?
B.
B is correct, -1. You gotta know order of operations. Now, if you didn't do this, you're not gonna get as much out of this review as if you did it ahead of time. We just don't have that wait time for you to do each problem now. Number 5. When you simplified this, what'd you get? You should get 19y minus 9. You have to distribute the -3 and collect like terms. Number 6, you're gonna solve this equation. What do you get when you solve it? -5y minus 9, you're gonna distribute the negative, and then bring your y's to one side, you get 4y on this side, subtract 1, you get -10, divide by 4, you get -10 or you get -5/2, or you get -2.5. All of these are good answers. One of them will be on your test. Number 7, how do you solve for u? Okay, I would multiply those two together, TE equals 4u. Then divide by 4. So u is equal to TE over 4. This is on your test. You guys, this is a very good review of your exam, so I would take this exam review packet very serious. Number 8. Tell me how to solve number 8. What do you do?
Subtract 2.
Subtract 2. Then what?
Divide by -2.
Divide by -2, so k is less than or equal to -3.
No.
Okay, you gotta switch the
Greater
sign.
than.
Now, it's asking you to solve it and graph the solution. What does the solution look like?
It's number line, closed circle.
Bracket.
Or a bracket? It's gonna be a closed circle on your test.
Oh.
Huh? What's gonna be? It's all the solutions are greater than -3. So greater than or equal to. So you use a closed circle and you shade to the right. These numbers are all bigger than -3. Number 9, the perimeter. Oh, perimeter. What's that formula for perimeter? 2L plus 2W is P. Well, they're saying that the perimeter must be less than 200 inches. So 2L plus 2W, it's less than 200. And they say that the width is 36. So plug 36 in for W. You're gonna multiply these two, you get 72. You're gonna subtract it from 200 and you're gonna divide by 2. So you end up with the length must be less than 64. 64 inches. Questions? Number 10 is an and problem. An and is you're looking for where these two overlap. So you're gonna add 4. 2x is greater than or equal to -6, divide by 2. And then do the other side, add 4, divide by 2, what do you get? Right? Add 4, whoops, I'm sorry. Add 4, you get 14. Divide by 2, you get 7. Yes, you didn't divide by negative. Yes, yes. You flip the sign when you're dividing by negative. So this one is an and problem. I want to know where are the x values greater than -3 and less than 7? Use a closed circle at -3 and an open circle at 7. And you shade everything in between. Or you put them both on the same number line. If it hits it all, it's a solution. So add 5 here. Subtract 6, you get 5x is greater than 25. X is greater than 5. This is an or. So you put them both on the same number line. So at -3, you should have an open circle. And at 5, an open circle, and you're shading opposite. It's greater than 5 and less than -3. So far, okay? Number 12. How do you do these absolute value equations? What do you do with these two outside numbers here? You gotta get rid of them. So I would first add 2. And then what? And then what? Yep. Then divide by -2.
Why did you do the other one first?
Because you always add or subtract. Kind of like if you had an equation, -2x minus 2, you do this first. You always add and subtract first. It's like this.
So follow order of operation.
You follow order of operations. When you did,
It doesn't follow order of operation. You multiply or divide first.
no, you do it backwards when you're solving equations. So like if you had this problem right here. If you had 2x minus 4 equals 10, what would you do first? Why didn't you divide first? You added 4. You add 4, you get rid of this first, and then you do division. Okay. Now, back to this problem. This number must be a positive number. If it happened to be a negative number, what would you write next?
No solution?
No solution, because you can't take the absolute value of a number and it come out negative. So at this point, you're gonna break it up into 2 problems. 4x minus 5 equals 1. 4x minus 5 equals
-1?
-1. And do the 2 problems. Add 5. Divide by 4. And reduce. Add 5. Divide by 4. you get 1. These are your two answers right here. Number 13 is an absolute value with the inequality. It's an OR, greater. You're gonna break this up into two problems. 2x plus 3 is greater than or equal to 19. 2x plus 3 is less than or equal to negative 19. And you do your two problems. Subtract 3. 2x is less than or equal to negative 22. Divide by 2. Subtract 3. And divide by 2. So your answer is x is less than or equal to negative 11, or all this right here. How do you graph it? Negative 11, okay, closed circle. An 8 with a closed circle. And you shade opposite. Number 14. This is in less than, it's an and. You have 2x plus 10 is less than or equal to 26 and greater than or equal to negative 26. How do you solve those? Subtract 10, subtract 10, subtract 10. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Here's your answer. How does it look graphed? Negative 18 and 8. These are both closed circles. Shade in between. Now on your test, if you saw a problem like this, absolute value and a less than, and some of your answers look like this, you can cross these out because this is an or. You know that it has to be shaded in between. Okay? Questions? Now we're on chapter 2. Chapter 2, what is an equation of this line in slope-intercept form? So what you're going to do is you're going to find your b value. You're going to find your b value, which is 5, and then your slope is, it's 5, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. So your equation is y equals 4x plus 5, which is
D.
D. It is D. Number 16, which one does not pass the vertical line test? Or which
Does.
one? Or which one does, I'm sorry. Which one does?
A.
A, good. It's on your test. So A, the other ones do not pass the vertical line test. Number 17, how do you write this equation in slope-intercept form? What do you do? You're gonna add 5x And then divide everything by
-8.
-8. These are easy, right?
Yep.
So y is clean it up. Easy. Next one. What format is this in? It's in standard form. The easiest way to graph something in standard form, watch how easy this is. I make my little table and I put 2 zeros there. Watch how easy this is. So if I'm finding this is, if I cover this, if I put a 0 in for x, look at this little teeny equation you have. Very simple to do in your head. What's y? What would this have to be? Right. And then you do the same with the y. Put a 0 right here, cover that up. What would x have to be?
-2.
Okay, which graph is it now? 0, -1,
A.
and -2. That's called your x and y intercept. Next. This is a lovely one. Write this equation in standard form. Well, what's the slope? How do you find the slope? You take your two y values and subtract them over your two x's subtracted. So I get 3 over -6, which is -1/2. Then I take this point, this slope, and you pick which point do you like better? I'll do either one, you'll get the same answer.
4 -10.
4 -10. I like to jump into point slope form. Remember that form? Now, unfortunately, it has to go, we can't leave it like that because the answer won't show up for you. How do you get this in standard form? I don't like this fraction here. Now, if you want, you can distribute. Do you guys like to distribute? Or do you want to get rid of the fraction? I'll do what you want. Distribute?
Because it's an even
Okay.
number.
Okay, so what is -1/2 times x? And then what's -1/2 times -4? Okay, now I know that the 10's gotta go over here. What do you get? And now what's wrong with this? There's 2 more things wrong. I gotta get rid of this 2 here. You can't have fractions for standard form. So you multiply this by 2, this by 2, which is gonna cancel just the 2's, not the negative, and multiply this by 2. So you get 2y equals -1x minus 16. And now bring this over. This might be one of the harder ones for you guys because of the standard form part.
It's all algebra.
Yep. Questions? Okay, next. This one's just like that one, the x and y intercept, see if you can try it. Make a table, little table, and do this, looks like, reminds me of tic-tac-toe. You put a 0 in for x, what would y be? -4, right? And then if you plug a 0 in for y, what do you get? Which answer is it? Be
C.
careful. This is called your y-intercept. When you have a y value, that's your y-intercept, and this is your x-intercept.
What's your problem?
So which one is it?
D.
Can't see one.
These are the correct x and y intercept, but it's not the correct graph. This is the correct answer right here. The x-intercept is -6, 0. The y-intercept is 0, -4, and this is the correct graph. So be careful on this problem because there's two parts to it. They want the correct intercepts and the correct graph. And that's why multiple choice can be tricky, because some of you guys said, yeah, C. C is the correct intercepts, but the graph was wrong. It's off. 21. Read the question. I need you to write an equation of a line in point-slope form. So tell me what the slope, always need the slope. What's the slope? What's the slope? Five minus -5 over -5 minus 15. So I get 10 over -20. Did you get -1/2? Good. And now, in point slope form, you pick one of these points. Now, there's two possible answers. One answer, if we use point, we'll call that point A, would be y minus 5 equals -1/2, and then x plus 5. That's one answer. The other answer would be if I use point B, y plus 5 equals -1/2, and then x minus 15. And it says point slope form, so you leave it, you don't have to get it in standard form. Anybody have any questions on that one? Okay, how about 22? I need it perpendicular to this line, so what do I do?
Opposite slope.
Right now, the slope, as it stands, is 1/2, but I need it perpendicular. So a perpendicular slope would be what? Good, you flip it and change the sign. So now, I'm gonna start off, I like to start off with point slope form. So this goes here, and they only gave you 1 point. So you plug your 3 and your 3 here. So you have y minus 3 equals -2, and then x minus 3. What would you do now? The question says slope-intercept form. So tell me what to write. Y minus 3 equals, and then what? Add 3, so what's your final answer? Now, it's a multiple choice test. You may, after you did the slope part, you may be able to eliminate a couple answers just looking at the slope. Number 23, I'm gonna have to get back with you on, because I think that picture's wrong. I know it's wrong.
Not just a line.
Yeah, it's not, I'm gonna get back with you on that one. We're working on the exam today, so I'll know more and give you that answer tomorrow. Okay, for 24, this is easy. How do you find f of 3? What do you do? Plug 3 in here. This is, I call these gimmies. This is a gimme one. -15 plus 1 is -14. All right, now number 25 is on your exam. And we didn't do a lot of these, but I'm gonna see, it's actually easy. It's a transformation problem. I'm gonna talk to the other 2 algebra teachers. I'm either gonna change the question around, or see if you can handle this. It's not hard, but check this out. How do you go, if this is your parent function, how do you go from -7 to 35? What did they do? You multiplied it by 5, okay? Now, what else did they do here? They added 5. So if I asked you to describe the transformation, you look at the 2 changes. What it would be is a vertical stretch by what? by 5, good. Vertical stretch by 5. And what else would you say?
Up.
5 up. Is that hard?
After you change it.
You just gotta know, what did they do to get from -7 to negative, and it's just, the question's just like that, you guys. Okay. Number 26. This is an absolute value one. Let's review really quick. What does an absolute value parent function look like?
A V.
It looks like a V with the vertexes on the origin. So what does this +3 and -4 tell you? Where is this, you're gonna move this around, where is it gonna go? It's gonna go left 3 and down 4. Left 3, down 4. Which one is it? Yep, got it, A. Left 3 and down 4 is A. Number 27. I'm gonna blow this up, and by the way, the answer's not there, they're all wrong,
Ooh,
it's okay.
interesting.
Let's pretend like there's no answer there. How do you do this problem? Well, I need this vertex right here, what is that vertex? -7, 5, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's going, the thing is going up, it's not upside down.
Stretched.
And now, do you remember this, what we did, what's that called? That's gonna be your vertical stretch,
Yeah.
3 to 1. So does anyone know how to write this equation?
So -3. Wait.
Why -3? It's up,
Yeah.
just a 3. X,
Oh, yeah.
x plus 7, and then plus 5. Here's your answer right there. 7 to the left and up 5, and then this is a vertical stretch by 3. Now, if it were upside down, then you would have a -3 there. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 28, let's talk about all these. What's the vertex? Is it -4 or +4? 4, 9. What's the axis of symmetry? X equals 4. Now these two are interesting. How do you find the x and y intercept? What's the deal?
Plug in 0.
Yeah, you plug in a 0. The y-intercept's easy. If you put a 0 right here for x, you could do this in your head. What is 0 minus 4? What's the absolute value of -4?
4.
What's 4 times -3?
-12.
What's -12 plus 9? So that's your y-intercept. You plug 0 in for y, 0 in for x and solve for y. Now the x-intercept's a little interesting, because you've got to do some, you plug 0, whoops, look what I did. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, the x-intercept, you're gonna plug 0 in for y, and there's gonna be 2, sometimes there's only one y-intercept if it lands on the x-axis, there will only be one x-intercept. But typically, there's gonna be 2. So I'm setting myself up for 2. Okay? So, actually there could be none. Could look like that. There could be none. Okay, so there's another thing you can also find, that there are no x-intercepts. How do you know if there's gonna be no x-intercept? If after the equal to sign, you have a negative number. So I'll show you right now. This is what you're solving. How do you solve this? We did it on the previous page. What do you first do? Subtract 9. Then what do you do? Divide by -3. Now I'm going to stop here. If this number popped up as a negative, it would look like this one right here. There would be no x-intercepts. Because you can't do it. You can't take the absolute value of a number and it come out negative. So if you happen to see a negative here, you would say no x-intercepts. Well, if it's a 0, if that number turned out to be a 0, it would look like this one. You'd have one x-intercept. Well, it's a positive number, so guess what? There's gonna be 2. How do you find the 2? What do you do at this point? You split it, good. So you have a 3, and you have x minus 4 equals negative 3. Add 4, you get 7. So 7, 0 is one of the 2, and 1, 0 is the other one. Questions?
Okay, so this is just like find the x's.
Yes, find the x's. Yep.
Find the x's, find the zeros, find the roots. all the
Hey,
same
does
things.
anyone have any questions on chapter 1 and 2? Okay, Brett, stop recording.